My name is James Williams Jr. This is Kung Fu Havoc number 2. In my last video, I left off with, I suppose you guys want to know, which style is the best style of martial arts. For me, I idolize and honor Bruce Lee, but I've never had a Jeet Kune Do lesson a day in my life. Alright? So I can't say that it's the best style. I can say that he was the best of the best and he had the best style going. Because, basically Jeet Kune Do is adaptation on the fly. I kind of like that. So my style is kind of like that, but it's not Jeet Kune Do. There's a little Wing Chun, there's a little Wushu, there's a whole lot of karate and a whole lot of Kung Fu. A little bit of Kempo, a little bit of Aikido, a little bit of Capoeira, a little bit of street fighting. Now, and a little bit of ninja. Now, I tell you this because those are the things I kind of studied. I did study karate. I started off in karate. My first 3 years doing karate, 7, 8, 9, or 10, because you don't really count that first year, so it's basically 8, 9, 10. Now, prior to that, I only knew how to street fight, which basically means if I can get you down, I can ground and pound. That's pretty much how that worked out. Once I learned karate, there was no more getting them down and ground and pound. It was keep that shit to your feet. Then I trained and trained and trained, and then I seen the first tornado kick I ever seen in my life came from the Ninja Turtles. First jumping spinning kick I ever seen in my life came from a Van Damme movie called No Retreat, No Surrender, which Van Damme did not star in. And then the second one, my favorite female martial artist that is not Asian, is Cynthia Rothrock. I learned a lot watching her films. But the whole time I had already taken class, but they didn't teach us that in class. They just taught us horse fists and stuff and how to work a broomstick like a bow staff. So I was pretty good with that. I got great with the nunchucks because no one would teach me how to work them. I watched a couple of Bruce Lee clips. I bust myself in the forehead a few times and learned that that's not how that's supposed to go. And then I got awesome with the motherfuckers. If you watch my videos, you would see there's no room in here for me to do that, and I'm not going to break my camera trying to prove something to you that I personally know that I can do. Anyway, so after watching the Ninja Turtles and practicing that tornado kick, after watching Van Damme and Bruce Lee and learning how to work weapons, because no sensei in Charlottesville would teach me shit. Ever. So, after that first sensei, from 10 years old to 15, I learned the hard way. I learned by putting what I learned at 10 years old to good use. I learned how to adapt. I learned how to pick shit up off the streets and incorporate it into what I now know in my Kung Fu style. When I met a guy who was dating my sister, that's how I learned Kung Fu. I was first just doing karate, and I was just doing basic karate. And he taught me, karate's great if you're taught by someone who is great. So every time I tried to attack him, he outwitted me with Kung Fu with barely 2 or 3 steps. Bip, bip, you're done. And he tagged me. He ain't hit me hard, but he hit me hard enough to know that I was hit. And this was some dude who was learning martial arts from DC. So I don't know if he ever went to Willie the Bam school or whatever, but his Kung Fu trumped my karate, which is why I switched over because I was like, okay, well, I can learn Kung Fu, plus what I know with karate, plus what I've seen on TV. I can have a badass fighting style. And no, I never learned any moves from Street Fighter. I cannot do a fucking burning dragon kick. I can't do the burning knuckles from Terry Bogard from Final Fight, and I can't do that goddamn thing that Fei Long does, and Ryu. I can't jump forward and spin around in a circle. No, I can't do any of that shit. That would be special effects. If you ever see me do that in a movie, it's all special effects, alright? Now, I started taking Taekwondo at 15. So from 15 to 17, I learned Taekwondo. By the time I turned 20, one of my friend's mothers was dating a dude who learned Kempo. So I learned like maybe 4 or 5 lessons from him about pressure points and shit from Kempo. Then I watched the video on Praying Mantis, learned it, practiced it, did the same thing with Dragon, same thing with Tiger Claw, and when I started taking Taekwondo again, I actually knew some of this stuff because I put it to good use in practice. Now, granted, Mr. Ennis jumped down my shit and said, if you don't really know that, then you probably shouldn't use it. And I told him, well, The only way I'm going to know if what I know is going to work is if I use it. 25 push-ups. So I did my little knuckle push-ups, and I actually got to use what I learned in sparring classes with grappling and stuff, because I did take judo also. You know, took a little judo. I think I had like one class of judo. I can't remember where the fuck I took it at, but I took judo. Then I tried to go with other dojos when I left Mr. Ennis, because I never wanted to give up martial arts. I just didn't have the money to keep paying him. So I went to other dojos, but they wouldn't teach me because they said I was too hardcore. Because I asked them if I could fight for my belt. And each and every dojo that I went to said, get out. Hell no. You cannot fight for your belt in my school. And I asked each teacher the same fucking question. It's a 3-word question, well, a 3-letter question. Why? I'm paying you to teach me how to protect myself. But if you're teaching me an exercise in which I can't use to protect myself, how am I supposed to know your teaching is actually working if I can't put it to use? Well, the answer was simple. That waiver we signed is so that we can't be sued if we get hurt in class for trying to learn a lesson and defending yourself. I agree with that waiver. I don't agree with concept of characterization of, if I'm teaching you how to fight, you need to know how to fight when you walk out my door, even on your first day. You need to know how to fight. When you walk out that door, you can't walk out that door without passing a grapple test. Every day it's going to have to be a test. Because if I send you out and you go home and you start eating Cheetos, and you're not practicing, but you're eating Cheetos, but you're staying in shape, you're doing the exercises, you're doing push-ups, you're doing sit-ups, you're staying in shape, so your body's going to take care of itself, but you're not practicing. And every time you walk in my dojo, I'm going to notice that your skill level is either diminishing or increasing. If I actually do a jumping spin kick and you can't, and you look at me and you have no fucking idea what the fuck a jumping spin kick is, I'm going to know something's wrong. So which means either you're not practicing or you're just spending your money learning nothing. I'm not here to teach you nothing. Now I'm going to tell you something that a sensei once told me before I went to Mr. Ennis. And I don't know where I met the guy. He might have been a student. He could have been a liar for all I know. But what he told me was, and I come to believe that it's actually more truth than lie, it's not how hard you hit. It's where you hit. So you don't have to be a great martial artist. You just have to have great knowledge. But if you don't practice, you have no knowledge. And having no knowledge is probably the worst idea you can have if you break into a fight and, you know, you think you hot shit. You think you Bruce Lee, so you're going to come in there, whoa, I'm a bad motherfucker. Wrong. You're a dead motherfucker. Because you might come up against a guy who's never had training and only watched cartoons and Power Rangers. And he may very well whoop your ass. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why would you do that? Because I learned my first tornado kick from the Ninja Turtles. I learned the reverse tornado kick from the Power Rangers. In fact, you guys know him very well, Jason David Frank, the Green Ranger. Had I not seen him do that reverse tornado kick, I'd have never seen that shit coming. So in a fight, I would have got fucked up because I'd never seen that done before. Now, as I started making movies, there was one thing that I learned that works in movie life that does not work in real life. How do I know this? Because I almost got my ass kicked attempting it. When you are in a real fight, it is best that you stick with basics. Flying dragon, side kick, jumping front kick. Those should be the only 3 kicks you use in a real fight. Maybe a straight front kick or an axe kick, you know. But as far as your hands, boom, boom, boom. Now, for karate, it's clenched. For kung fu, you close on impact. So, you're not always going to remember that. So here's my suggestion. Just keep these motherfuckers closed. Don't close them so tight that when you hit someone, you're going to break your hand. But close them tight enough to know that it's going to reduce the air pressure and you're going to connect. And when you connect, you hit in a certain spot or so that you can try to put somebody to sleep. Which is why I suggest sternum or throat. I don't ever tell anybody that's like 5'2" to go toe-to-toe with someone 6 foot and say, just hit him in the face. You're going to knock him slam the fuck out. That's bullshit. Sometimes you can hit somebody in the face all damn day, and depending on how strong or tough their ass is, well, they're gonna fuck you up. I can't put that no nicer. They're going to fuck you up. I was nice saying it. There you go. Now, your teacher is everything. And how you learn and where you learn is everything. Some of us have an accelerated learning gene. It's not scientifically proven. But some of us actually have accelerated learning genes because muscle memory is everything. Now, being that I no longer can kick, I'm going to tell you what mine was. I had discovered that I am really good with a 1-2 combo of left, right, right kick. Left, right, left kick. So when I used to practice, that's what I did. Now, if you see any of my movies, you don't see anything basic. You see fancy shit. You see jumping spinning kicks. You see jumping crescent kicks. You see jumping reverse tornadoes. You see flying dragons. That's about the only basic kick you'll ever see me do. Maybe a jumping front kick and a side kick at the same time, because that's a kung fu kick. But you jump, you kick forward, and then you elevate, you turn your hip, and you kick the side before your foot ever touches the ground. Now for Taekwondo, you would jump, your toe would touch, and then you would bring it back around. Okay, see, I have studied martial arts. You don't have to believe me. I never said I was Bruce Lee. But I'm going to make it through that fight, especially if the guy is stronger. Now, the 180 and the 360. I'll tell you how I learned them. There's a guy who was in Ninja Turtles. His name's Ernie Reyes Jr. I have been mistaken for him at least once. Maybe twice. Okay, 3 times. So anyway, they were all by little girls. Most of them black girls. So I learned the 360, which is basically you go back around. I learned that one from Brandon Lee in the movie Rapid Fire. And then I just kept practicing it, and I got really good at it. I learned the 180 from Ernie Reyes Jr. in the Ninja Turtles. Now, at the younger age, I learned that one fucking backflip kick that Bruce Lee could do. I learned that from watching Enter the Dragon, because in the beginning, the dude catches Bruce Lee's foot, and Bruce Lee kicks him and busts a backflip and lands out. Then I started living in reality. I said, let me tell you, if you watch enough Chinese movies, you see a lot of them doing a bunch of gymnastics and stuff to get away from people. Well, I can't do that. I can do diving rolls. I used to be able to do backflips, and now at 44, there's no way in hell I'm going to attempt that shit, because I don't heal very well. But if you bust a backflip to escape me after doing a kangaroo kick, I'm going to kick in the back of the head. I'm going to win. That way it stops you from beating my ass. So you have to keep that shit basic. A low kung fu kick versus the back of your head? Yeah. I'm going to win that shit. Because it's the back of your fucking head. Now, you know, doing crazy shit like you see in wrestling and stuff, yeah, that's cool. It's all, if you're doing entertainment, you know. But if you're going to fight in a real fight, I'm going to tell you, keep that shit simple. Keep it basic. Because when you start doing all that fancy shit, you better not miss, or your balls are done. If you're a woman, I don't know if that's going to have any effect on you. But as a man, if you jumping spin kick and somebody comes up under you and you missed, you're dead meat. Now, here's the thing, because everybody's always talking about wrestling being fake. Wrestling, the talk, the attitude and all that shit, slightly fake. Those moves, 1000% real. And you can get wrestling into your martial arts and you can become one dangerous motherfucker. In the Army, I got out-wrestled by a guy named Nolan Wright. Just like the baseball player, but that's his real biological name, Nolan Wright. Pee-wee, I do what I want. That's your shout-out, brother. Now, I couldn't out-muscle this motherfucker. He was stronger than me. He was 17, I'm 37. Now, he couldn't make me tap, but I wasn't going to give up and he wasn't going to give up. So eventually we both just decided, all right, let's just quit. And he was way stronger than me. Hella strong. For a 17-year-old kid, he was hella strong. And he would say the same thing about me. And I said, nah, dude, I'm just a survivor. I adapt very fucking fast. You know? Now, there was another dude in Bravo who didn't really like me, but he was from New York. And a lot of you guys from New York, I'm not knocking you, but a lot of y'all are a bunch of talk. Now, I've met a couple of New Yorkers that might be able to fight, but that guy in particular, nah, he just wanted to make himself look good. It's cool, because here's the thing. We ain't fight. You know, we never sparred when it was GFT time, mostly because they wouldn't let me because I was on profile. And it wasn't until, like, I was on my second profile for Bravo, where my drill sergeants decided that I was a punk bitch. Alright? Because me and Teddy, I was on a major profile. Teddy wasn't. I want you guys to actually see me. I want to be able to see myself when I say this. So the drill sergeant, you know, after I got hurt, he threw this shit in my face because he watched my web channel. You know, he watched Kung Fu Havoc #1. Maybe it was Kung Fu Havoc #2. He watched one or the other. I don't really remember, and I don't really give a shit. But he called me on it. He said, you know, for an old tough guy, why are you such a punk bitch now? And I had to explain to him, you know, one, those things were movies because I was trying to be an actor. Had my acting career take off, I would have never joined the military because I would have did my part trying to make money to help people and teach Kung Fu for free. Two, I wanted to kill him. When I refused to go back to golf, it was because I wasn't going to be playing with some 25-year-old Chinese guy that was 6 foot tall telling me that he's going to bitch me out every fucking day. So until they sent me to Delta, my drill sergeant in Bravo, he ate my ass every day. He picked on me. He called me every fucking derivative. I was a couple of faggots a couple of times. All that shit. All's forgiven. I forgive you. I don't give a fuck because I know personally, had we not been in training, wouldn't have worked out that way had he met me on the streets. And I know you guys are thinking, well, it's brave of you to say that right now, James, because you're no longer in the military and you'll never have to deal with this guy ever again. That is true. It's not brave of me to say it. Because here's the thing with military protocol. I'm a private. He's a sergeant. Neither one of us is allowed to put our hands on the other. And he was 33 and I was 37. He's been in wars, combat, you know, where you're shooting people. I ain't never shot nobody a day in my goddamn life. So if you're going to ask if we're going to shoot each other, who's going to win, I'm a dead man walking. If you're going to ask if we go hands up, who's going to win? My leg not fucked up, my body in great shape, that fight's mine. Why? Because everyone in my platoon have been in war involving rifles and guns. Now, granted, they had combatives. The problem with our combatives was they would not work in the street. Some of the drill sergeants specifically said that, especially when I got over the Delta. The shit they was teaching us would not work in the street. And he was correct. And I had agreed with him, and I told him I've been studying martial arts since I was 7 years old. And the shit they teaching us, why you think so many damn privates get killed in bars down in Atlanta or anywhere else that they go? Because the shit they're teaching us, somewhere in your brain, if you've never been in a fight before, you think that the military combatives is going to make you Rambo. That shit's not true. If you've never been in a fight in your life, if you've never lost a fight in your life, and you've never had to hit somebody, you don't know what's going to happen when you get across that battlefield. I've been in maybe 25 fights in my life. None of them have been televised. So you'll all say, oh, he's a fake, he's a phony. But most of the people who have threatened to fight me have never showed up. Because this fake, this phony, has showed up. And has waited. And has waited. And has waited. And no one showed up. But they all talk shit. So back on my drill sergeant, you know, he was driving this shit into my head every day. And then he asked me, well, what's your deal? And I told him, first and foremost, the same thing that I told Captain Lutz when I was there. You've been in many combat situations and you're 32 years old. I've been in many street fights and I'm 37. There's a reason why I'm standing here unscathed, uncut, and not afraid to get my ass beat. Because I've already been down that road. I've been in more street fights than you've been in combat. And your combat insists on, I'm running down with this M4, I'm shooting motherfuckers because bullets are very dangerous. And if you get shot, you can die. I respect that. But they don't respect the fact that I knew martial arts before I got there. Their little bit that they taught me just made me a little bit more dangerous. But since I never got the chance to shine because I fell in that fucking hole and I got hurt, I didn't ask to be a punk bitch. I didn't ask to fall in that hole. I came there looking for family. Took a long time for me to find it in Delta, but I found it. I didn't find too many people in Bravo that liked me. Maybe 3 people in Bravo liked me. Maybe 3. Maybe only 3 of those motherfuckers remember me. Maybe 3. A lot of motherfuckers from Delta remember me. No, a lot of them. A lot of motherfuckers from Bravo could care 2 shits if I'm talking right now. But I will say this. I am not mad at my drill sergeants. I'm not mad at Drill Sergeant Stoner. I'm not mad at Drill Sergeant White. Because now they're about the age I was when I was in. You know? And that's cool. You know? For them, I sucked. It's great. You know? They've made it through everything they have unscathed. I didn't ask to fall in that hole. I didn't ask to be punked out every day. I didn't ask to go to golf and be treated like dog shit. I grew up fighting. And for Drill Sergeant Walsh and them to punk me and bitch me and all that other bullshit, you don't know how hard it is when all you know how to do is fight. To stand there like this and take that shit day in and day out. You don't know how hard that is. I've never taken more than 5 or 10 words off of somebody without trying to break their face inside out. But I don't want to go get shot for treason at boot camp. I didn't want to fall. I didn't want to leave Delta. I wanted to stay in the Army. I didn't want to leave the Army. I've had it worse before the Army. I had it worse after the Army. But nobody knows my story and nobody cares. Cool. But as far as martial arts go, I'm only going to say this once. If you have never fought a martial artist, and I ain't talking in the fucking ring where they put the vest on and the headgear and all that shit. If you have not gone toe to toe, literally, with someone like me in the motherfucking streets, you should probably stop making videos about us being phony. I respect Kung Fu. I respect Wushu. I respect Wing Chun. I respect Kung Fu, if you want to call it that way instead of Gung Fu. I respect karate. I respect ninja. I respect every martial art that you can name. Because I am the jack of all trades. If there's a martial art that I haven't studied yet, I'm more than glad they're willing to look for it if I ever can get cleared for this hip. You guys watch my videos. First time I ever put up a video, someone said it was gay. Some little kid said that it was gay. So I did the un-martial art thing. I confronted him online. I'm like, hey dude, no one asked you to watch my video. But if you don't have nothing nice to say, you probably shouldn't say something to someone who actually can come to your house and kick your ass. In the form of, it's gay. Especially when I don't like men. They're cool friends and everything, but that's pretty much all they can do for me. Maybe be my bro. But as far as anything else goes, they're just targets. So he wrote back, I'm sorry. My father wrote that. I said, well, don't be like your father. Don't pick fights that you can't win. And I'm sorry for jumping down your shit. Because when I'm wrong, I'm man enough to say, I'm wrong. Lots of men are not. But I was like that before I got into the Army because honor is everything to me. Everything. It should be everything to every other man on earth. Not such a thing, but it is what it is. So then, no one else really been watching my videos on Kung Fu Havoc #1. And then Google bought YouTube, or somebody bought YouTube, and I kept hitting the button and it disappeared. I couldn't get back into Kung Fu Havoc #1. So we have Kung Fu Havoc #2. Now at 44, my hand game has had to make up for my foot game. I can't run. And then, people are always telling me, hey, so what are you going to do if you get into a fight because you can't run? My answer is simple, and I'm going to end this video with that so that I can start the third video. I pray. I'm James Williams. Kung Fu Havoc #2. Be seeing you.